Hi, it's John Flynn. This is Copley Advertising. And today we're going to talk about the number one reason why you lost that client. The number one reason why you lost that client. You're an idiot. You're stupid. You did everything wrong, okay? Go back. Then don't sit there. Okay, yes, that's correct. You're gonna lose clients, right? And you know why? Most of the clients I lost, I was a jerk. Yep. I was a jerk. Oh, I did something wrong, right? I did something wrong, right? Clients are usually like, fine, you know? Yes, there's some clients that I've actually let go. I've said, I'm not working with you anymore, thank you, after this job, and I appreciate it, thank you. But for the majority is that we live in this world of denial, okay? I do. I mean, it's just, you know, I think I have a suit on. Look at me. We live in this world of you know, rationalizations and denial. And that's just the existence we live in. That's fine. But I mean, when you lose a client, right, you really got to take stock here what happened. And I don't mean like you didn't work hard enough or da-da. It's usually not the case. And you know, if a you know, and it's really hard to ask the client because the clients don't want to like fire people. Nobody likes firing people, okay? So I mean, right, the clients are going to let you go because you fired them. You know, they fired you. They're not going to like kind of, you know, say the old like, well, you know, we found somebody else and you know, the boss's nephew and we got to use him. So, you know, so what happened? Start from the beginning, right? What you promised them? What did you say you were going to do, right? It's not so much. Right, if you bang it right, if you make expectation levels right, then you should be in pretty good shape, right? I mean, and I've done it wrong. We've all done it wrong. Panic and go, yes, you will make $1 billion on my marketing program. No, so you know, and I've told people it's like, you know, I mean, this program isn't going to work the way you're going to do it. I mean, I'll be able to brand it, but in a sense of CPA and stuff, you're not going to get anything from me, you know. And I just rather be upfront that way because it just makes it easier relationship. Because if I'm tied to a goal that I can't manipulate my system the way I usually like to, in order to go after some mythical thing that's not going to work, then you know, then everything gets messed up. My stress level goes through the roof. The system's not spewing out data correctly. You know, I'd rather say what I have to say in a sense that I'm not going to. I'm not CPA driven anyway, so I'll just tell you like that. I'm not. You want a CPA guy? Go someplace else. I'm not a guy. I'm not the guy. I'm a marketing sales guy. I'm not a CPA guy. If I was like a billion, if I put one in and got 10 out, CPA driven, I would not be talking to anybody. I'd be in Aruba right now or someplace. I don't know. putting $1 in magic machines that print $10 back. So so you have to set that with the client, and that way I could do my job is to gather data and you know. And learn what we have to learn for the long term, you know, and figure out what the demographic is and how we're moving forward and things like that. So I mean, did you do that right? And second of all, I mean, are you reporting everything you would? Now I like to do weekly reporting for clients so I can get to talk to them and keep them invested in what we're doing. I'm not saying you have to do it that way, but are you doing it in a way that they feel that the information you're giving them is enough or, you know, being explained enough. I mean, I could dump 10 pages of data sheets on you, but if you don't get it, then it's useless. I mean, I don't want to be one of those guys that just deliver paper for the sake of paper, right? I deliver a cover letter of observations for the program for the week, and then the data sheets a little more in depth afterwards, in case they want to really take a look at the breakouts. And I like to do it on a conference call. You know, and the upside of that is that usually what happens on the first conference call, because the way that I optimize is that the data is all over the world. It's everywhere. Because then what I'm trying to do is I'm launching a lot of different demographic profiles at the same time. So things are hit, things are missed. It'd be like, you know, it'd be like a huge win here, a huge loss there, and that's just the way it goes. I mean, I invest a small amount of money in the pay-per-click, or the CPM, so I mean, I'm not hurting the budget, but at least, you know, on paper it looks like a bloodbath. So, right, so that first week is usually difficult. By the time I get to the second week, I'm presented, like, they could kind of see what my thinking is, and what kind of, you know, we could say, aha, you know, 18 to 30-year-old women who live in this geo-target really like. So we're gonna focus on that. And then if you have any offline marketing you're running now, you wanna move those budgets here, because that's where the money is. So, you know, all that, now they're starting to see the power of the data and everything else. So, I mean, that's important. So, you know, move forward with that. But it's like, you know, if you lose a client, what steps weren't you doing? What, you know, you have to think, like, what happened, right? Constructive criticism, what happened? You know, don't bring the sales rep into an office and yell at them. That's stupid. Who trained the sales rep? Who told the sales rep what to do? That would be you. So why are you yelling at the sales rep, right? But I mean, the whole percent of the game is not to just keep the client for the sake to keep the client. I just had a client the other day. I was just like, you know, she actually called me with one of her Google AdWord keywords weren't working, and she wanted to know what I knew about that. I'm a mobile marketing guy. I'm not a Google AdWords guy. So as you know, there's like guys who like are PhDs in Google AdWords. They're, you know, they know what they're doing. So she comes to me and I said, no idea. She goes, well, you should. Now, in the old days, I might have panicked and said, oh, let me go find a friend of mine who's a Google AdWords guy. Maybe we can, you know, do a conference call. These days, I'm just like, no, I'm not. You're done. Either A, you're not understanding there's a difference between Google AdWords and mobile, or B, you need to call whoever logged that program, that keyword for you. That's the person you need to talk to. So she was annoyed and said, okay, but I don't care. If you're going to get mad at me over that, then that's fine. But yeah, it took me a long time to be this comfortable with people sometimes. I mean, it's just like, you know, because I think that's good for our relationship, because we put boundaries in and we know what's going on, right? So take a look, take a hard look. What's going on? You know, what's going on in the system? You know, chances are that it's not just this account, but it's other accounts. And the other accounts are not going underwater with it because they like so much other stuff, but this is definitely a weight that's dragging some people down. What is it? What is the weight? It could be that the sales manager's too uptight. Right? Corporate culture could be all screwed up. Maybe people need free candy. More free candy. Free candy solves everything. What can free candy not solve? You really think about it. Have a chocolate bar and you're like, I feel good. I ain't gonna feel bad later, but initially you feel good. John Flick, Copley Advertising, give me 1 month. 1 month of my mobile marketing campaign, and I will fix it.